I'm live. I don't feel 100% live. I feel about, I'm going to say about 83% live. I've managed to catch a cold, not because I've been out, you know, licking objects in public places. I've just been run down. I've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and my little internal clock said, "Oh yeah, well, here, poof," and I fell down, and And so, and as I'm lying there, having fallen down, thinking to myself, oh, look, well, and it's all my fault, isn't it? I mean, there I am, making the decision to do this. So I wanted to jump on anyway today, and I have to do it early because I'm taking a very, very dear friend of mine to the airport. She has been visiting for the last little bit, and she's my longest friend. That's not a question of height; it's how many years we've known each other. And as I was saying, I was just over on Facebook. Military kids don't really stay connected to people they knew a long time back because there's just so many postings in between, and you mean to, and but you don't go back to the same towns that you lived in. You very often don't go back to your hometown until maybe 10, 20, 30 years later, and everybody's lives have changed. Well, in this case, it's not the case, and so it's quite wonderful. We still don't see each other very often, and we still mean to get on the phone, and we get busy, and we don't do it. But it doesn't matter because we're that kind of old friends. And anyway, she came for a bit, and we got a chance to, in person, as opposed to try to cram everything into one phone call every 6 months. We got a chance to kind of wander through all the things that have been going on with her and her family, and with me and my stuff. And in the middle of it, she said, "You're really invested in this, the way you're doing this. Like, not questioning what I'm doing, but how I'm doing it." And I said, "Well, yeah, because I want this, and it should be that, and da da da." And she said, "And how's that working?" And I said, "Well, it's not. It's so frustrating. I can't seem to nudge it forward. I'm using all of my, what is that strange thing with my hair? Um, I'm using all of the skills that I normally use, that normally work, and just for some reason it's not working." And she said, "So then, um, it's possibly a dead end road." So no, but this project, I mean, it's important. She said, "I don't mean the project's not supposed to happen. The way you're doing it clearly isn't supposed to happen. You're trying to go down one path, one path, one path, and it's a dead end, and you keep walking into this brick wall. Roughly, when were you planning on stopping doing that?" And you need that perspective through the eyes of someone who knows you so well. And I kind of blinked at her and said, "Oh yeah," in that witty, clever way that I have. Duh. And and she said, "Yeah, like, you know what? Let's give it a break. Don't think about it." And I said, "Oh, sure, easy for you." And she said, "No, no, we'll go do other stuff. I'm here. Let's go do other stuff." So, other stuff is what I want to talk about. I talked about it on Facebook. I want to talk about it here because this is not just me, it's happening to. When, and I was saying over there, when we are in a state of panic because we've committed to something and we think it's brilliant and we need it, we want it, we gotta have it, and we push and push and push and push, we start getting much more primitive. We start getting pure emotion, fight or flight, freeze or hide. Everything's either all good or all bad. There's no shades of anything in between. And this door number three that I talk about all the time. Door number three is there has to be something there that I'm not looking at because I'm trying too hard to achieve this or that. And what she was saying was, let's just give it a rest. Don't try to do anything more with it. Give it a chance to do what it's supposed to do, that it's trying to do on its natural momentum. Leave it alone. It's like staring at the kettle, waiting for it to boil, staring at the pot of water, waiting for the water to boil for soup or something. It takes longer, or at least it feels like it takes longer because you're just standing there. If it takes as long as it takes, go do something else. Get your mind off it. Set a timer though, so you don't boil the pot dry. But keep things in perspective is what she was reminding me to do, that I remind you to do all the time. And so we got busy, because we hadn't seen each other in a long time. We were doing this and that, and I've got a bit of a cold. I've got a sore throat because we were up talking. You can imagine me talking. Well, she's just like me. So everything that I had been obsessing about, I just put on hold. I just said, you know what? She's right. I don't need to keep pushing this. So I stopped. And lo and behold, a very interesting thing happened. So can't yet go into really, really big details. But the outcome is there is a move happening. There is a move. I am moving. And I am opening a studio. And it is in a beautiful location. It is stunning. It is going to be the envy of everyone who does the kind of work that I do. And it fell into my lap and gave me a Bugs Bunny kiss on the nose. And the people who have the space available said, we can do this, we can do that, we can do anything you want. And I said, really? And they said, yes. And maybe just don't use that voice. And I said, okay. And so I talked to all the people that I needed to talk to. And I looked around and I said, well, there's no time like the present. So the thing that's extraordinary, I make a big deal of my birthday because, it is a moment, it is a mile marker. And every single one of us has that mile marker. Whatever day it was, whatever time of day it was, when we come around again to that moment, it's our opportunity to say, so how did I do this time? How far have I come this time? It's a really good way to judge how we are evolving and unfolding and growing and changing. So the beauty about this is that I will be moving for birthday month. Not on the 1st. We don't do things on April Fool's Day. But I will be on my way. And the only thing I'm going to need in Ottawa, the only thing I'm going to need is help from you. If you are interested in helping me set up this whole new fabulous location, then you need to reach out to me. You can message me. You know how to do that. And I will gladly accept all your offers because I can't do this without you. It's all about you. Then everything else is the same. I need to have you involved so that you can feel like you're a part of what is unfolding. And when I'm allowed to, when I'm at liberty to tell you the details and show you, you're just going to be blown away. So it's very exciting. And I know I sound a bit pale. And I think I probably look a little bit pale. The thing is that this cold is just probably the accumulation of all that frantic driving around back and forth to help my friend and keeping the work going and, fixing the Pivotry project and just keeping all the plates spinning in the air. Eventually something has to give. And what gave was my immune system said, okay, lie down, watch this, lie down and get some rest. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days. I'm going to take my friend to the airport to send her off back to her lovely family. And then I will be getting started. So I will gladly and happily and gratefully and excitedly, enthusiastically welcome any of your offers to contribute to this transition. And we will just talk about Pivotry in motion. Talk about pivotry in motion. We will have the most amazing time. So the thing I wanted to add, the story that I want to tell to illustrate, as I usually do, this business about feeling boxed in. When I was a very little girl, I had a crush on the local boy who delivered our newspaper. And, he came to the house once a week to collect for the paper, and I would just stand there and look out and this sort of thing. And he would kind of look over and pretend he didn't notice me. And so it was pretty ridiculous. And then one day I realized that he really, whatever I thought the magic was, it wasn't real. So I was gearing up. I was gearing up to tell him that I wasn't going to work, even though he hadn't actually approached me. But the chemistry was there. You know how you are when you're young and you're sort of flirting, and so and so is sweet on so and so. That I had suddenly realized I wasn't that sweet on him. It was just sort of that initial flutter. So I was getting all ready. It was the day he collected for the newspaper. I was getting all ready to, break the news and be kind as I did it. And I opened the door, and he was standing there, and I said, "Hi," and he said, "Hi, listen, I've had a horrible time trying to figure out how to say this, so I still don't really know how to say it, so I'm just going to say it. I don't think really we're not a good fit." And I said, "What?" Because here I was all ready to say the exact same thing. I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, and I hope you're not really hurt. I hope I haven't, led you on. I didn't mean to. I've realized that this is just not, it's crazy, and I hope you're okay. Do you mind if I talk to your mom about the subscription for the paper?" "Okay." So I kind of stunned, walked away from the door, and I got my mom, and I said, "He's here to collect for the paper." And she said, "What's wrong? Are you all right?" I said, "No." And I went to my room, and she went, and she, asked him, "Is anything right?" And he said, "Well, I'm really sorry, Ms. Haggard, but, we've sort of been flirting, and I didn't want her to think that there was something going to happen, so I told her." And my mom said, "Oh, well, all right, dear. Well, thank you very much." And she closed the door, and she came into my room, and I was just howling. I was, oh my God, tears racking me. I was just hiccuping. It was so bad. You know how that kind of crying you do when you're little? And she said, "I don't understand. Are you all right?" "Hic, hic, hic. No, no." Oh. And she said, But, honey, you were going to break up with him." And I said, "I know." And she said, "Well, then he saved you the trouble." And I'm, I know. And she said, "Well, then why are you crying?" And I mean, and I said, "I don't know." And I just went right off the end, and just sobbing, broken sobbing. And, when I look back, my parents must have looked at each other every so often and said, "Heredity or environment, there's something different about that child. Maybe it's your side of the family." But what I realize it was now, and it's only taken me, I was in my single digits when this happened. I'm now a little over that initial set of single digits in my age. It was relief. I had been rescued, and I hadn't realized how long I had been holding my breath and leaning in and just taking the next step forward and the next step forward, not having any idea how to stop. I didn't know how to stop. I was waiting for the wind to stop so I could fall down. I didn't realize it. Him stepping forward and taking the initiative was the wind stopping and me falling out of the boat. And my sobbing was sheer exhaustion and relief and gratitude. It was door number 3. It wasn't that I was his soulmate or he was mine. And it wasn't that he didn't want me and I was now set adrift. It wasn't that. It was that this was door number 3. This was the universe handing me my exit strategy. Isn't that amazing? Now, this story, again, me, looking like a, a, a few bubbles short of an entire bubble bath. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it for years. But I was set free to walk through door number 3. It happened to me. It's happened to me again. I was stunned by it. I almost got to that same hysterical place. And then, bless her, my friend said, well, wait a minute. Look at it. Look what it's given you. Forget all that other stuff that is certainly valid, certainly confusing, certainly an element of surprise. What? Forget that. That's just stalling tactics. Focus on what you've been handed right now. It's the key to door number 3. So the later folder is where we write these things down. Why we're here, why we're doing this, why it matters. Door number 3 is how we get there. And sometimes it really sneaks up on you. But when you look around and realize that you don't feel boxed in anymore, you can sit back, sit up and say, thank you. Thank you, wherever it is, universe, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for watching and thinking and listening and commenting. And, well, good morning. Good morning, Billy. So I have news to share with you later that will be really exciting. And but in the meantime, I have to love you all and temporarily leave you because I have to take my friend to the airport. And I'll be back. So between now and Tuesday, I want you to take very good care of you. The weather is iffy, and we tend to overdo things when we think spring is just around the corner. It's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, so I know you're going to have a lovely time. Just remember that you have to be careful and look after you. All right? So please do that. And until I see you, you know the drill. Be good to you. You deserve it. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. Remember to hug your loved ones. Bye for now.